Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sneha and today I'm reviewing the recent launch of the new Wayne Goss brush, which is called the Airbrush. This is what the brush looks like. It's priced at $35 and I purchased it through Beautylish. Now as you can see, the shape is quite tapered and even from the side it's quite slim. And this particular brush is made out of blue squirrel fur or hair, I guess, but one of those. Then I do have some other brushes from his previous collections, such as the Wayne Goss brush number 14, which is this brown colored brush, which I love for applying powder to the face. I also have his number 2 brush, which I do enjoy for contouring. So that's what that looks like. So when I compare the three, the new brush is much thinner in comparison to the other two brushes. In terms of softness, I do agree with his claim that this, in fact, is the softest brush he's ever created. Now, don't get me wrong, the other brushes from his older collections are also soft, but I always thought that the brown bristles for some reason are softer than the first collection that he came out with. But this one is hands down way more softer than the other two brush collection brushes. This one, now that I have the airbrush, feels a bit rough on the skin, and this one is still soft. And I don't know, when I compare the softness between this and the airbrush, it's difficult to say what differentiates the two, but I think with this one I can probably still feel the bristles, but with this you can't feel the individual bristles in it. It is beautiful and I am in love since getting this brush. And today I'm doing a demonstration on how to use the Wayne Goss brush for contouring, highlighting, blush, and also for applying powder on top and then buffing it into the skin. And again, I have problematic skin, as you can see, so it's always a challenge to find a brush that doesn't move the foundation and the concealer underneath but still apply something on top. So I usually tend to avoid applying too much blush and contour just for that particular reason. But I've used this yesterday and I have to say that I do love it, and it's the best brush I have for contouring and for applying blush without moving the makeup underneath. So I think it's great for anybody who has texture like me or acne on your cheeks. So let's get on with the demonstration. So for contouring, today I'm going to use a mixture of two products. The first is the Kevyn Aucoin sculpting powder in medium. And this is what the shade looks like. So it is darker than my skin tone, as you can see, but it's not too dark. And for more deeper contouring, I have the MAC Pro sculpting powder, and I believe it's shadowy. Had it for so long, but this is the shade, and as you can see, it's a lot darker than my skin tone. So I'll first start with contouring, and I love the shape of the brush because of the slim tapered end. It's good to get the product at the tip of the bristles and then really go in and apply it to your contour, or to your cheekbones I should say. So I'm just taking some of the shadowy powder at the tip of the brush. I don't know if you can see that. And I'm just going to suck in my cheeks. And sorry if I look here, I have my mirror right here. Gradually building layers to intensify the shade. Going to go a bit heavy-handed with all the products just because Wayne Goss talks about using this brush for buffing in the end with the colored powders. I'm going to see how that helps in blending all of these together. I'm taking some of the Kevyn Aucoin powder as well. I think that's good enough for the cheekbone, and I'm just going to bring it up into my temple. I'm also taking it along the edges of my face, the forehead. I'm just doing one side to show you how contouring affects or changes your face. I'm not saying you need it every day, but I think it's great for special occasions. I think that's quite a subtle contour, and again with the cheekbone I've gone heavy, you can see that. And again, where you place the product depends on your face shape. I'm also using this brush to go along the sides of my nose, so again going heavy-handed on this step. So as you can see, I have a stripe of contour right there. Also going to use this to apply some contour to the cupids or the indentation here, and also along my chin and on my jawline. Good. I didn't intend to put some of that lipstick on my upper lip. I do like bringing it here for some reason. And then along my jawline, which is much needed. Under my lip or bottom lip. Okay, so just a tiny bit more here. So always look straight ahead to see where you need it. So I can see that I could still go in a bit here to contour. Okay, so that's half my face contoured. This is the side which does not have contouring. Again, straight on, you can see how much more definition this side of my face has compared to this half. So I'll just go ahead and finish the other side and I'll be right back. So now that I have all the contour powder application done, I'm going to take a paper towel and just wipe the brush gently. But nothing really comes off. Much of it is just on the skin, I think. Next, I'm going to do some subtle or matte highlighting or reverse contouring. And for that, I'm going to use my Nye Banana powder. Again, with the same brush. So taking some, loading it on the one side of the brush, like so. Going to take it just under the contour. At this stage, if you've brought the contour too down, you can also correct it. Like so. Going to apply some to the bridge of my nose as well. So just putting it some on the tip and just patting it right there. This is especially good if you have oily skin and you don't want to use something shimmery in the center part of your face. Use a matte shade that's lighter than your skin tone. Again, repeating it on this side. It might be a good idea to also look straight so you have both cheeks cutting at the same angle. So as you can see now, this one's slightly lower than this cheek. But then again, I know that one of my cheeks is fatter than the other, so just keep that in mind. I'm also going to get some of the matte powder on the center of my chin. Just dabbing it on. I'm also going to take some of the matte highlight on the center of my forehead. Just to bring some light in the center there. You can see that now that's more pronounced than the outside where we put the contour powder. Just again gently wiping it off on a paper towel. Next, moving on to blush. I think for today I'll stick with using a matte blush. So I'm taking this pink blush by MAC. I think it's Posy or Peony, I'm not sure. I'll list it in the description box below. Actually, I got it out and it's Fleur Power. This is the name of the blush. So we're going to load up one side of the brush with the blush. So just going in like that, tapping the excess off. Then let's start with this cheek, applying it right above the contour. Don't like to bring my blush in too much, so just stop whatever or wherever you feel is comfortable for your skin. I don't want to bring it too much here just because I already have a fleshy cheek. So repeating the same on the other side. I know that one cheek usually gets more blush than the other sometimes. Okay, that looks like equal loading on both the cheeks. So I like to get some right here. Just whatever's left on the brush. I'm not taking any extra blush. Again, wiping the brush off on a paper towel. Let's do powder highlight as well. So I'm going to use MAC Mineralize Skin Finish in Soft and Gentle. Again, taking just on the tip of the brush, knock off the excess. Going to apply it just on top right here. I have oily skin, so I'm not going to apply it elsewhere. Just applying it here on the top of my cheekbones, like so. I'm also taking some on the front of my, or the arch of my brow bone, I guess. And then some right here. Go back and load some more if you need some. Just above the arch of my eyebrow, like there. Everywhere else on my cheek, I'm going to keep it matte. Taking a small amount, I'm applying it just here where I have a dip in my nose. Just to bring that out. Oh my God, just applying it to the bridge of my nose, not the entire length, because I have quite a bulbous nose anyway, so I don't want to draw more attention to it. Right here. I think that's good. So taking some on my Cupid's bow. Usually I would do this with my fingers, but I just want to show you how versatile this brush is. Okay. And if you don't have oily skin, you could also take it down your chin, but I think I'm going to skip that. Done with highlighter. Now to do a powder in your skin tone. I think I'm just going to do it with the Nye Banana powder. Why not? Trying to blend and mesh all of these three together. But before I do that, I think as far as the concealer, I do think the concealer has moved a bit. So it's not completely transfer proof, if that makes sense. It's not soft enough where it doesn't take off the concealer is what I mean. Taking the powder on the brush, knocking off the excess. Starting by just setting everything in place with this powder. And then obviously we had some highlight right underneath, so I'm just going to dust that off. doesn't irritate the skin, which is beautiful. Just blending and buffing everywhere. Taking some more of the powder and buffing at the contour of the nose that we have. So it's not so harsh. And again, as you can see, the side that got the powder, and if it looks more blended than the other side. It does, I think, especially the contour, you can see looks subtle, I think more subtle. And if you'd like, you could also blend this off to make it softer. Maybe here to make it softer as well. I'm gonna set everything in place with my Scandinavia makeup finishing spray. And that's it, that's the finished look, especially for the cheek area, using just the Wayne Goss airbrush. So let's look at the cheeks. The highlight, I think, looks beautiful, quite blended, doesn't look stark because it picks up such a small amount and then really buffs it into the skin. I think same for blush and contouring. You can build up, you can go from a very subtle, natural looking contour to something more dramatic than this. I think everything looks just very nice on the skin with this brush. However, I think for people who still have texture and acne scarring on your cheeks, this brush is not soft enough to not move around the concealer as much. So I do think I have to go back in with the concealer to spot conceal where the concealer may have moved about. Otherwise, I think it's a multifaceted brush with so many purposes. I think the $35 price tag is well worth it because you can use it for so many different things, as I've demonstrated in this video. And I think its tapered end is really powerful in the sense that you can get into your contours, you can get into the sides of your nose. I just love the feel of this brush on your skin, it's beautiful. So that's my review for this brush. Overall, I give it a big thumbs up, and I would highly recommend checking out this brush. Thank you again for watching, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you again in my next video. Bye!